Have a motion to approve the agenda.
I'll make that motion. Second.
All in favor, raise your right hand. And it passes. Budget overview, district analysis and comparison.
All right.
I'll leave that to our administrator.
Thank you. We are going to update 2 of the pages at the beginning before we start with the analysis. Joy, if you'll hand out those 2 pages and I'll tell them where we're gonna update.
Hello this morning.
That way you'll all be on the same page when we talk about it.
You're gonna update the analysis and it's not very.
All right, the first page is going to be that revenue budget distribution, which is the 4th page in.
Page 9.
Joy, do you have them?
Yes, I
Let me
got
find
it.
those out.
Yes.
Just new.
Yes, sir.
The second one that you are going to update is 6, 7, 8 pages. So flip over to the 8th page after that revenue page, and it's the projected total expenditures per student. It's a graph. That's the next one that we will update.
Ashley County.
Good morning, how are you? And the good news is, since you left, I was letting them know we're having to update the books where District 3 and 5 changed. But we already updated yours because we had your book.
You're good.
So you are good, you are good to go. Yes.
Hey, how you doing?
You know, did Dr. Williamson get his updated?
I don't know that he did.
That's what I was gonna ask.
Will you update his?
Yes, I will.
This one, no.
This is just so you're following along with what I'm talking about. There's your budget.
It took me a second to figure out who that was.
I'll take that.
Thank you.
You just didn't
Find
get
what you
steps
need.
in?
So,
All right, so we're gonna go through that very first section of the book first, where we're gonna compare the 5 school districts, and I gave you all a handout that'll show you exactly what we're comparing. You can follow along with the handout, or you can follow along in your budget book, whatever's easier for you. So you'll see in that first slide, now this one's not included in our budget book. This was just an overview of the 5 school districts. And it shows you what their budget is. Of course, these are rounded numbers. It's going to show you what their estimated enrollment is going to be for next school year, what that per student would be. So that is the budget divided by that enrollment. And then what the growth of the budget happens to be over last year's budget. So that's just a general recap of what we're about to look at. When you flip to the next page, good morning.
Question.
Yes,
The bottom column is growth. Is that growth in population or growth in budget?
that's growth and budget. Yes. If you flip to the next page, you're going to see that we're going to discuss our revenue now, and this is included in your book. So if you want a bigger copy of it, this is the page that we just updated. So if you're looking in your book, you're going past, the millage that the auditor sends to us every year, the millage rate increase limitations, and the state salary schedule. So 4th page in. This is where you get a clear view of all 5 districts, the total revenue that they have budgeted for this fiscal year. And you'll see the different categories with that, the ad valorem taxes. District 2 has ad valorem for Greenville because they have a little section of Greenville County that's paying back to them. The delinquent fee in lieu, county equalization, the 3-tier payments that come in, merchants inventory, manufacturer's depreciation, and then some other state property tax revenue that comes in. The other line that I would like to point out, you'll look and it's about the 3rd one down and it says total fund balance that needs to balance this budget. This is all on this page too. You'll see that both District 1 and District 2 does include fund balance to balance their budget. 3, 4, and 5 is not doing so.
You mentioned we'd have updates in here for 3 and 5, which I know are reflected here.
Yes,
Have you heard anything from 2? Because I believe that has changed since.
she did not send
Okay.
any updates to the budget. They were due, I believe it was Wednesday. They were
Yeah.
due yesterday,
Yeah.
and I did not get
Okay.
any updates for District 2.
So changed in that they are using fund balance.
More fund
They're
balance,
using
okay,
more fund
because
balance.
They're
there was a, there was a discrepancy from the state funding to all of our districts
Yeah.
That
that
is
they
correct.
originally were
Less than
budgeting, and now they're
anticipated.
getting less money.
Yeah.
So that fund balance had to increase. Yeah, so that was just listening to their presentation at their last meeting, so I don't
Okay.
have any.
I can reach out and see if there's an update to this, and then I can email that out.
I'm probably getting ahead a little bit, but has the governor already signed the budget? I mean, this still is subject to change, isn't it?
Yeah.
Subject to change.
Okay.
Does anyone have any questions about what has been reported for their revenue? And again, I will reach out to, I'll actually, because I have heard from 3 and 5, I'll reach out to 1, 2, and 4, just to verify that there are no changes. All right, our next slide is student enrollment over a 10-year period. Again, this is in your big budget book, if you would like to look at that, or it's on this little slideshow. You'll see that there is a continuation in the decline in student enrollment. So we are seeing a decline again, and you'll see how that's trending right there. And then if you look at the next page, you're going to see each district broken down separately.
It's interesting that 4 is increasing while the rest of them are coming down.
Decreasing.
What are you doing up there?
We're just doing a great job. All sorts of people. Location, correct.
It is.
If you look at the next page, you're gonna see our distribution of students. And this is based on their anticipated student enrollment. Some of the districts use the exact number as what the number of students they had enrolled at the 135 day. And then some students, or some districts rounded that. They may have come down just a little bit more further. But it's very, very close to what their current enrollment happens to be. You can see that District 5 is still our largest district, followed by District 1. And then 2, 3, and 4 are very similar in numbers. Moving to our next page, you have a 2-year comparison of all classes of property on our assessment value, and that is provided by the auditor's office. So these numbers are taken straight from that report. It shows you the numbers for 2025, 2026. I didn't change that at the top, it should say.
Just 26, 27.
Mhm. It should say the other, yeah, 26, 27. I need to change my numbers.
We know what you mean.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Who decides what the assessed value is?
So the assessor's office goes out and they decide what that value would be. We do have the assessment year coming up this year, and it's capped at 15% of what it could go up for homeowners or property value.
They have a team of quasi appraisers. They go out and look,
They go out
physically.
and
Let me just
Big
decide,
drive-by.
let's raise the value.
do some
so-
drive-bys.
Yep, drive-bys. That's
Mhm.
all it is. Yep,
Does
looks
that
like
bother
it
anybody?
bothers everybody, probably.
It does.
There's something wrong about that.
How do you stop it?
All right, moving to our next page. We are looking at the value of a meal by district. So again, this is reported by the county auditor, so what I get from him. And it shows you what each district value would be. You can see that District 5 has the largest value, followed by District 1, 4, 2, and 3.
And these values, when we have the value of a meal, is that taking into account residential, commercial, industrial, like all the things? Or
This is
what's that?
just your 4%.
This
So
is just,
this is what their meal should bring them.
Mhm.
If they were to collect at 100%, this is what they should get. And to say that nothing was sold, so no houses, no cars, they didn't go trade in for a brand new car and get something better during that time. Everything stays very static. That's what this number would be. But as y'all see, every month, this fluctuates every single month. Flipping to our next page, you have the Tier 3 funding by district. You can see what each district was, or what they collected this current year and what they are expected to collect next year. And then those numbers are provided by our office. Any questions on that? Flipping to our next page, we have a chart on the federal funding by district. So you're looking at the amount of federal revenue that is included in the budget. Any questions so far?
Is that allocated per student? Is that where that number comes from? Is that a student per student factor?
It depends upon the program as well.
Oh, yeah, it's more like there could be grants involved in there as well.
Okay, so it's really not a head count.
Mm-mm.
It's just what you apply for. Okay.
And could be based on student population as well, what type of students, your
Poverty.
poverty, yeah,
Weighted.
homelessness.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's so many factors.
Right.
is that what a Title I monies would
Census
be?
data.
Right.
Or is that some of it?
Title I should be included in that.
Title I
yes.
would be in.
Mhm. Alright, moving to our next page. We have projected total expenditures per student. And again, this is taking the district's total budget, dividing it by the anticipated student enrollment, and you're getting a per student cost on that. Mr. Baylog asked about, yesterday, you sent me a question on how this was calculated, and I reached out to the districts. They do not calculate this to look at this. And one explanation that was given from District 3, they don't look at it this way just simply because if a student were to leave, they're not going to gain $12,000 back. Let's say if it was worth $12,000, they're not going to get $12,000 additional in their budget just simply because, you know, that teacher still has to be there. Lights still have to be turned on. That bus is still running. So this is what we can look at as a tool, but it's not something that districts factor
Okay.
All right, moving to our next page. We have the school levy bond debt by district. This was something that was new to this year. It was asked to be included during our previous workshop. So I reached out to the treasurer's office. This is the amount of outstanding bond debt and what that levy looks like currently. So remember, this can fluctuate year over year as things are paid down, but also as they are added. But this is where we're currently sitting. Any questions about that? All right, our next page is.
Wait.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, you got school levy bond debt,
Huh?
and then you've got outstanding bond debt. What's the difference?
So the levy is the amount of meals that are required
Got it.
for you to pay to relieve that. And some of that bond debt, I noticed like District 2, they're very close to paying theirs off. I can't remember if it's this coming year or the following year, but they're about to pay theirs completely off. Some of the other school districts, I believe 3, they had maybe a 2028 payoff on one of theirs, or maybe it was a 2030. I can send you that spreadsheet that shows the exact payoff dates as well.
I'm asking because I'm thinking about it right now, I don't know if it's perfect, but hypothetically,
Mhm.
if a school district paid off all of their outstanding bond debt,
Mhm.
what happens to the 20% of the
Sales
1
tax.
cent sales tax that goes toward their sinking fund?
They would get to keep that.
They would keep that,
Mhm.
so that would not get distributed
Right.
to others?
They're going to
Right.
fund balance.
Mhm. It would go into their amount of money that they could spend.
My guess is they were anticipating taking on more of that.
I guess.
And probably the strategy to pay that other down was to reapply it. It didn't work. So,
Any other questions about bond debt? All right, our next page is operating millage value per student. So you're looking at what the operating mills are per district, what they currently have, their value of the meal, what that amount would be, multiplied out, divided by their anticipated student enrollment to get that per student cost.
Did they take this into consideration of the decrease in students? Or is this something that was calculated early on?
This was something that was calculated by me, by this office. So they don't look at it.
So did you look at the decrease in students for each school? and
I
figure
give
this
you
out?
that information, but all I'm looking at is what they say they're going to have. So yes, the decrease is there.
Okay.
Because all of the districts reported very similar numbers to either their 135 current enrollment or what they're anticipating coming in the school year. So if they had a decrease, they typically continued with that decrease.
this is just opinion, but I don't think any of the districts ever want to calculate their budget based on a per student
Mm-mm.
basis. Because that trend is not going away. That cliff that they talk about should continue on through 2030 in declining population of students. So
Mhm.
just FYI, the number is not going to get smaller, but the number of students will.
Right,
I think that makes our job harder.
I think so. And the next 2 pages that are in this handout that I gave you are not included in your book. So I made sure you had them on your handout. So this takes what, that same approach that we looked at last year. So it's looking at each district's total current millage. No district has requested a millage increase. It shows you what their ad valorem budget, what they're calculating their ad valorem to be, what their value of a meal currently sits at as of 5/31, the value of the meal they use to budget, and what percent that is. And then it gives you a difference. We can see that District 1 is still valuing their mill at 98%. District 2 has come to 95.2%. District 3 is 91.9%. District 4 is 89.1%. And District 5 is 92.1%.
So isn't that collection rate,
Collection rate.
correct?
This is value of the mill. Their collection rates currently. I've got a chart that I've started
Okay.
with that. I'll have to get you those
Okay.
exact numbers. I can tell you that when we get to our board meeting Monday, every district has now collected 100% of what they budgeted. So you have to remember when they
Right.
budget, what it is actually, that's two different figures. But
But they budgeted 95, or a range of 92 to 95.
right.
And they'll collect.
And they
Well,
call it
some of them
110%.
last year were about 80, they were down in the 80s.
Were they? Okay.
Oh, that's interesting. Yeah.
Yes. Remember, we had a couple of districts down. I want to say it was 88-ish%. But yes.
So I don't know if this is your question, but this is mine, Dr. Burgess. What are they doing with this difference?
So we'll see that their fund balance, we'll see some of that in their fund balances, but we also see that some of the districts are transferring the funds. So they're taking that funds to decrease the fund balance and they're putting it in a building fund, or they're putting it in different places where their board approves them to
Okay,
move
so
those
their
funds,
board decides where they put that overage.
that overage. Mhm.
Okay.
Any other questions about that chart?
Is this meant to be an efficiency type rating? Or are they to say, does this paint the picture that we're operating efficiently by not spending 100% of our mill?
I think that's a question I could send out and ask them.
Okay.
I'm not certain I could answer that question sufficiently.
Okay.
And then you'll also hear it said that if we use our fund balance, we may not get that money back.
Yeah,
It's not true.
right.
Won't call the superintendent's name, but he's passed away now. He said, we'll never get it back. They got it back next year and more, the fund balance.
Mhm.
Because it's gonna always increase because of the way they're dealing with the numbers.
And the millage is always going. Okay.
And if you collect it, say you collect 95%, but you get 105%, that's money.
Right, that goes
Excess money
in
goes,
that
so let's go
balance
somewhere.
or,
So the follow-up question is, should they be spending 100% of the mill if we're collecting it from our taxpayers?
those are great questions.
Okay.
Is that something that you would like for me to send to them and have them prepared to
Yeah.
answer those
That'd
questions?
be great just to see the different answers. I mean, we could ask them in an open, but I'd like to give them a little bit more time to, I know they're gonna talk to each other about how they answer it anyway.
Mhm.
So it'd be interesting to see how they all feel about it. I think that proves your point. Right, spend it so you keep it.
Any other questions?
Generally, where does the differences go? Are you, you
Tell me
kind of
what you mean by
familiar to it? I'm talking
differences.
about, okay, just like D5, for instance, got 3 million in the difference, so therefore they have overage of 3 million.
Correct.
And you said, it's up to each board to decide where it goes. My question is, are you familiar with where it goes? Do they put it in the general fund? Do they buy, things for the school? You know what I mean? What are they gonna do with $3 million? I know what I could do with it, but I'm just saying,
Right.
what would they do with an overage of $3 million? Where would they put it?
I know that each different each
I
district
know
is
each
different.
district is different. I
different.
agree with you, but I'm just
And I can
saying,
tell
what
you-
would they do with it?
Talking to District 4, I'll give you District 4 for an example. Talking to that superintendent, we know that District 4 funds a retention bonus that they like to give out. We were at the board meeting last year when they surprised the employees with the retention bonus. I believe they were given $1,000, $1,500. I can't remember the exact amount. I'd have to look back. But talking to Mr. Christopher, if they have some of this overage, then that's what they do. And I know that their board, they had an overage this year, and their board has already approved for the employees to get that bonus again. So that's one of the things.
So
That
they
would
kind of
happen to
hand
them.
out money, but you know, each school charges school fees for every one of the students. Why can't they take that and eliminate school fees? You
That's a
know,
good
I mean,
question.
they're still
That's a good
getting the
question.
money in, so that the school fees add to the difference probably, and so on and so forth. I'm just saying that, you know, it just, instead of turning around and saying, hey, everybody gets a bonus because you worked here this year,
Right.
why not look at it and figure out how they can reduce things?
Interesting question. Would you like me to?
Yes, I would.
Okay.
School fees can be, I mean, they fluctuate between subjects. If you got science or biology or chemistry or something, you may
Yep.
be paying more for labs
Sure.
because of the materials they have to get and the samples.
Mm-hmm.
But,
But either way you look at it, you know, when you turn around and total, you know, school fees for each school, you know, how much do they take in school fees? I'll bet they don't take in $3 million.
no,
God
I don't think they
forbid
take
that
in
to the taxpayer.
539. I'm just saying, you know, that they could eliminate the school fees by doing something like that. Just a comment.
To Greg's question too, I'd be curious, because if I'm correct, Title I students, schools, whatever, they don't pay school fees.
They don't pay school fees.
So my question would be, does the federal government reimburse them for that? So would they need that fee on the schedule for the federal? I don't know how that works. That would
I
just
don't
be
know how
good.
that works.
Yeah, theoretically.
Theoretically,
They don't pay school fees.
right, theoretically they don't, that's correct. But that would be interesting. I would be interested in that, along that conversation.
Yeah, because each one of the schools, you know, my reading anyhow, 2 through 5 had a disclaimer. One did not. One didn't say anything about, you know, we won't collect school fees from Title I kids or free lunch or anything else, but the other ones did. They all outlined it. So, you know, I'm just kind of curious.
I will definitely ask.
Okay.
On that. Any other questions so far? All right, our next page just shows you the starting teacher salary for each district. And I just thought this might be something that you would want to know. You can see that 1, 2, and 4 are very similar. 2 is $2 more, but starting at 53,500. I know. Not sure how that
Just
would
to be
happen.
different.
And 3 and 5 starting at 54,000. So that is their starting teacher pay now.
New teachers do not get these bonuses that they talk about so much, right, on social media.
I believe if you've been there the entire year, yes, you would get a brand new
A
coming
brand new.
in. Oh,
Like
no,
if you're starting, this is your first.
right, no.
Or
they
just
would
walk
not.
in the door.
Right.
Correct.
Correct,
And
no.
next year, I guess.
I
you
don't
start
believe so.
getting-
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. That is correct. All right, any other questions about our comparisons?
I looked at that starting salary now. When I started, I made $8,400. I could
Wow.
track, football, and weight. Taught 5 classes.
And you enjoyed it.
Yeah.
You're rich.
Thankful for it, right?
Thank you.
$8,400.
Thank you.
Oh, wow, what $8,400?
When did you start?
Just collecting stuff at this seat.
Oh my God, 1979, graduated 81. Wow. Yeah. Dorman High School.
Gotcha.
And I filled in all the business forms I had. At the end of that year, I realized I passed. That was good for the phone.
right, I've given you all a copy of District One's budget presentation that was sent to us. If you just want to take a couple of minutes just to look through it, and then we'll look through some of their information in here as well.
Susan, to speak up in defense of the superintendents and the districts, I'm defending them. They all feel they're doing the right thing.
Absolutely.
And I think there's, even though we're a friendly board, and we're nice, there's always suspicion as to what it is we really are trying to accomplish. And I think we're all trying to do the same thing, is to do what's best for students and the taxpayer.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
Absolutely.
But it's always a tug of war, which is a good thing, because
Right.
Yeah.
You gotta have it.
Yeah.
You gotta have a little bit of checks and balances.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
Cause that's significantly different.
I would say that's, I would say that's probably the state department.
That's what
They-
it
they
is.
said that.
They-
That's
But
not what
to me,
we're
it should
talking
be
about. I've
tax
seen these numbers.
somewhere.
I agree. I agree. They got that much.
I've definitely
Because you know what?
seen
I looked
before.
up, just for the
But I'd
fun,
have
I
to look and
looked
see
up
what's
the
included
state
in it.
average.
But they're not including federal schools.
Now, when we
And,
look at our
yeah,
student
it's
costs,
just
we're just,
state
it-
and one
word
yeah,
between
we're just doing our state
So that's
council,
gotta be federal.
And that's it.
the whole
That's all.
All
amount.
Okay.
that they get.
Unless we just
Here,
absolutely
we see that.
wrong number.
We should-
I don't think I could.
I don't think
wrong.
that's, I don't think I can be that wrong. For all five. So, yeah.
If I am, I just-
So that's got to
I
be,
agree with you.
which would make sense, because they're
So if
probably
they're coming back to us.
getting less.
Susan has never been wrong.
Never.
Never. The story about Muhammad Ali, this guy ran to,
I'm gonna pay you later.
That's it. he told Ali, I've only seen you knocked down once. And Ali said, you've never seen me knocked down. You saw me getting up.
I would like that.
Yeah, because it's a
I'll have
matter
to
of
use
record
that.
to be able to find out what each school has in the fund balance. And I was able to find it, like I said, it had anywhere between 7%.
Why are they rejecting?
And they turn around and give it
So,
you know, most
and
schools.
Let me address this
And
with
then
everybody,
that
because
too.
Yeah.
this is an interesting
this is
story
what we got to-
right here.
And it's, and aren't they capped at 20%?
I don't, it didn't say anything about that.
Susan, just a
Yes.
general question. Our fund balance is capped at what they can accumulate.
I don't think they are.
And
They're not.
The minimum is 25%, isn't it? What is it, 20?
No, they can
No.
do it.
No, 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 no.
So-
So they don't want it to dip below, I want to say minimum, a certain amount of the general fund.
Right.
Right. I
Uh,
think it's either 10 or 20.
Best practices for governmental accounting is generally somewhere in the 18 to 20% range. I do know that the state started looking, they don't want to see it grow bigger than that.
Correct.
25.
That's it.
I don't know if they have a board directive, like, does each district have a board directive on how large their fund balance can be? But the fund balance was, it's there for emergencies, it's there for shortfalls, it's there for,
There's no cap, but a couple years ago, there was I'm gonna use the word threat. I don't know if that's the right word, but from the state, that they started seeing them getting so high, they would start adjusting what they were getting from the state based on that. So that led to the districts trying to move money out of the
fund
general fund
balance.
to keep it at around 30%.
25.
25.
It's
Okay,
25,
whatever.
yes.
And the same thing during the recession when President last Bush was in.
Yeah, yeah.
Because you look at the fund balances and like in Anderson County, there's $100 million in aggregate.
Right.
Mhm.
sitting around
So
in a fund balance.
Well, I looked up, just for the heck of it, to see what the average fund balance per school is in South Carolina.
Uh-huh.
And technically, it's shown that most schools try to keep a fund balance between, I think it's 6 or 7% to 16 or 18 or 19% or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay, and
that-
that's it.
that
And they
falls
turn
more
around
with
and they
the
say
best
that
practices.
basically what they're looking at is to be able to operate for 1 to 2 months
Correct.
Mhm.
if something runs into a problem.
Right.
These fund balances that we're seeing over here are well over that. They're actually looking at a quarter, if not even more than that. So I mean, they're far out of what the norm is.
it's concerning to me when we go back to this slide
Which one's that?
about
Gotcha.
their fund balance. And if you look at District 1, I mean, if that is an efficiency rating, they're spending 98% of their mill value. And even at that good of spend, they've still built a fund balance of $33 million, and it continues to climb. There's not a year it's going
Yeah,
down.
it just keeps going
Correct.
up.
And our taxpayers are funding that savings account. And the other side of that argument is, okay, well, we could spend it all,
And they would.
and they probably would, but that's not the point. What's a healthy fund balance? What would allow tax relief in some way or form back to the taxpayer? If we're just building a savings account and still asking for more money and raising every year based on the value of the mill, it's going up every year anyway. At what point does this become, it's just a slush fund?
The
And that's
most
my concern.
reasonable excuse to have a fund balance that I've heard is that there are times of year where the income is not
Cash
there,
flow,
so they
right.
have to have,
First of the year, yeah.
first
Right.
or whatever,
Yeah,
they
first
have
of
to
the
have that to draw down.
But that's why they said 1 to 2 months, that's it.
Don't interrupt me.
Okay, I won't.
So my question is, how far down do they draw a fund balance for that purpose?
The best way we could see that is we would need to ask for their fund balances monthly. And then you're going to see what that would drop to, what percentage that would be. But you would need a monthly report
Has anybody ever looked at
on
that?
that. Do we know how often they have to report that to the state, Dr. Burgess?
I don't.
It's
I
something
think
I can
yearly.
ask.
Yeah.
I think they report it to their
Monthly.
boards every month. I mean, I think it's in their packets every month. I mean, I don't know if it's.
As the state's monitored, the states will be able to see
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
Mhm.
I think it might be out of sight, out of mind, to your point, Vaughn. Susan, I would like, before they present to us, to maybe give a 2-year analysis of their fund balance.
Okay.
And show those transactions, so we can see what that need is when the school year starts, before taxes are getting collected, and just how low they go into that.
Okay.
This is where money, I'm not saying it's been hidden, but it's certainly being stockpiled. And I'm not an advocate for spending everything you get, but I'm also realizing this is costing somebody, namely the constituents, for us to grow that.
Okay.
So,
I'll reach out and get that for you.
thank you.
Yes. Any other questions? All right, as some of you were looking, Reverend Doherty was looking through the changes in revenue on District 1's slides. If you flip to that, you're going to see that there is a change in revenue in their county equalization tax where it looks like they're gonna have a reduction of 1.3 million. Does everyone see that? What I want to point out with that, and I was talking to the finance director about that. There's a new finance director in District 1, and what she is doing differently from what the previous finance director did is she is allocating the tier payment. So each tier 1, tier 2, tier 3 includes county equalization tax. She's not going to report that in the county equalization any longer. She's going to keep that down there in the tiers. So if you'll look a little bit further down where it says state property taxes tiers 1, 2, and 3, there's a large increase of 1.9 million.
Okay. so
That's
this is an
because it's
offset.
moving. And it's just difference in who's reporting where. That's all that is. So that was a good question. Good catch.
That makes sense.
Yes, but you can see it's actually increasing because we are projecting an increase in the tier
Well, that was
amount that
mine.
they're getting. And we're projecting, we know the value of the meal has increased, so their amount of that 14.7 they're getting, that's increasing as well. So all these things are increasing.
They're probably gonna say, and this is true, cause that's always been that way in that district. District one, they pay less per student than any of the other districts, cost per student. And, what they do, they allowed 25 students to one teacher. They may, you put 28 in the whole class, you know. And, but that's already spending less per student.
Oh, okay, I'm with you.
Exactly. Susan, going back to the fund balance discussion.
Yes.
That's why I sit in that chair at some point, and these, I guess, concerns are very good concerns. I think the question in my mind needs to be back to the superintendents. How will that, I think it's our question, how is the fund balance being used to benefit the taxpayer and student?
Yes.
And that should be the question, I think, because it's not just sitting there.
Right. Well,
It's just sitting there.
that's what we hope.
Well, the sitting there is not.
Hmm.
If, as Doug was saying, it's not been used, if they have an emergency, like 2 or 3 months to run the district.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
I'll send them that question as
If that
well.
makes sense, something.
Mhm.
Because that's our
Yes.
concern. This should be used to benefit the taxpayer and the student.
Right.
If you'll flip to the first page under District 1, it's going to give you a 5-year analysis. And I think this is the best look, overall look that you're going to see in every district's booklet. You're going to see what their student enrollment has been over 5 years. You're going to see the different types of student enrollment. You're going to see out-of-district students, things like that. I know a couple of years ago, some of the questions revolved around the multilingual learners. So we've got that reported on there as well under one of those lineups. It's this very first page under District 1, where it gives you a snapshot of all the years. But some of the things that we look at that I think is interesting, if you look at what the revenue was budgeted, and then you can look at what was collected. So we have those figures right there. So that's going to give you a snapshot of that as well. And then it's also showing you what they expended on those years that have been audited. So you're seeing that for 3 of the 5 years. We don't have that for the other 2 because this year is not completed. And of course, next year's is just a budget. But you can see a snapshot of that. So that kind of answers a little bit of those questions. What did they budget? What did they receive? What did they spend? So that's kind of gives you a overall picture.
And from what you said a moment ago, while we don't have the exact number, every district has collected what they budgeted revenue wise at this point.
Correct. So does anyone have any questions about District 1 that you would, specific to District 1 that you would like for me to ask them?
And Susan, I'm piggybacking on that statement, and because they have collected everything that they budgeted for, everything else is over, it's great,
Correct.
to their benefit.
Which goes into that fund balance.
Correct.
Yes.
We keep
Which
coming back to that, Cooper.
last year, did District 1 budget to use fund balance? To
That's a good question.
balance their budget?
I hope I look.
I knew you did, that's why I asked.
Look, I brought it. What are these
No.
questions?
No.
What are these questions right here?
Susan,
Get the book. Hold on.
Because if that's the case, then that first however much is still actually going to pay the bills this year, however much that is.
Yeah.
And if we look at next year, they're anticipating to use 1.6, 1.7 almost of fund balance, so.
Say that again, Josh. They're gonna use one
So-
point six.
Yeah. What was
Fund
last year?
balance.
Last year's fund balance was $655,791.
So for this year, the first 655,000 extra
Mhm.
will actually go to help pay their expenses because they were anticipating using fund balance
Again,
for that. Next year, or this coming school year, they're anticipating using 1.7 million of fund balance to balance their budget.
Of a $33 million fund balance.
Correct.
So
Correct.
the argument that we use this money to start our school year, that's very small
Mhm.
compared to the total pie.
Mhm.
So it has to be some other reason to stockpile. And that's what I'm looking for in my question.
As you're looking through, does anyone have any other questions?
Yeah, on, section 7,
Uh-huh.
where it talks about local option sales tax,
Yes.
and, not nitpicking, but just asking a question.
Mhm.
When you turn to page 3, okay, they have, what the hell is it again? 28,681 for football helmets.
which page is that?
It's on section 7, page
Page
3.
three.
Mhm.
Why
It's not that.
are the sales tax going for football helmets? Do they have a booster club in District 1?
But,
Yeah, I'm just kind of curious, it's, where does gate fees and all the other stuff go? Just for, field maintenance or what?
gate receipts.
Yeah.
It pays for equipment for all the sports, football.
So if it pays for football, then it should pay for the helmets too.
It, I think a helmet costs like $300 now, one of them. But they get them refurbished, but, teacher laptops.
I'm just kind of curious, $28,000 for helmets.
Yeah, that could easily be, you furnish the whole team, you got 50 helmets.
I think it is an allowable expense under the guidelines of.
It
local
is.
option.
That
Yeah.
part is. Is that something you would like for me to send to ask?
No, I'm just asking the
Okay.
question
I
here.
know some districts, I don't say here, but some districts
because
use
no,
that
the
money
other
to buy band
districts don't do
equipment.
it.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, there's different things like that. Yeah, and I think most of them, I think, have a plan for some of those rotations of
Refurbishment.
athletics and band equipment and things of that nature, but I don't know.
So Greg, right here, you're saying perhaps gate receipts to go to take
Yeah.
care of that. Yeah.
Mhm.
Just a question.
Just-
Gate receipts just don't cover it all, does it? They don't cover all the other sports, non-revenue sports.
Right.
Good point.
You'll get that for tennis and track, but you still got expenditures. Almighty now.
But usually for tennis and track, you buy your own stuff. Your own shoes and stuff like that.
You got uniforms.
Well, uniforms is a different story. Yeah. Okay.
And they won't furnish their own tennis balls. Golf is another non-revenue sport.
Mhm.
But you furnish your own clubs.
Yeah.
So. I don't
And
know.
same thing with baseball. You furnish your own gear with
You
that.
furnish your own gear and stuff like that. I'm just kind of curious about the football helmets.
They still do
$28,000.
PE in school.
They do. It's required by state to do so much time.
Through 10th grade? Or is it not differentiated? It's
You
just-
gotta have
I've
one-
always paid attention to elementary because that's what I taught.
Yeah.
There's a
So I don't know.
requirement, there's a
I think I heard
graduation
you-
requirement, but it can be done in several different,
Yeah.
ROTC.
ROTC.
yeah, several different
There we go.
avenues, but there is a graduation requirement.
Okay.
I think it's two credits of it
Mhm.
but it can be in some, it doesn't have to be.
Different things.
So,
As you're looking through District One, does anybody else have any other questions or concerns?
Also in their expenses and stuff like that, you know, they, talk about dues and fees and transits. Can somebody explain what a transit is? Because they also have things where it's on, section 10. And,
What's the question, Ray?
they have, you know, this is on the revenue report.
Okay.
Okay, and they talk about dues and fees and also transits. $146,000 in dues and fees and transits at $101,000. That would
What
be,
page
um,
are you on? Is it-
that's on page,
section 10.
yeah, section 10, item 640 and 720, I think it is.
Okay, gotcha.
So that'd be the last page. Just curious what transit is. That's item number 720, which is almost the last one, or it is the last one.
I will ask.
And then, like I say, on the dues and fees, you know, at $146,752, that's pretty doggone high for dues and fees. For what?
I'll find out.
And then I guess my last question that I'm gonna have, really is, you know, most of the other schools talked about decreases, you know, where they save money and stuff like that.
Mhm.
If you're looking in the, information over here from Anderson One, it, kind of brushes over it, but it never says where they're saving money. It says where they could save money through attrition and so on and so forth, you know, I guess, you know, but yet they're saying they need teachers for the new school and so on and so forth, but I guess my question would be, how many teachers retired? You know, are they replacing them? You know, things like that. You know, just kind of questions where the money would come from.
Sometimes they miscount when they project how many students they're gonna have, because you don't know what's gonna walk in the first day.
Well, there's actually, according to what it shows, their projection is 89 additional students, you know, coming in. Okay, but they had a big decrease over the years and stuff like that, but you know, it's hard to tell.
I will say too, the 45 ADM, so beginning of the year, those numbers are usually larger
Mhm.
than what you come out with. Students don't come back to school, students move through the school year, but the numbers at the beginning of the year are usually larger than the ones at the end of the year.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Any other specific questions for District One?
That's all I have.
Here is District Two's budget presentation.
I'll get that up here. Please hand one to George. Please hand one to George. Thank you. Let me throw this away for you while I'm standing up. I got it. as y'all are looking through, does anyone have any questions about District Two? Again, District Two is also, projecting using part of their fund balance to balance this budget.
On the state revenue summary for them, Susan,
Uh-huh.
what is that new education funding EIA decrease? Did
That's
they
the
explain?
Education Improvement Act.
Is it just
That's in the,
sunsetting out of town? Or what?
no, that's where they were, I believe is that where they were talking about they were losing funds?
Well, this is prior to that. That could be just because of reduction of students.
Student, I was about to say that
Okay,
can
so
also
that's
be
a
a
per
reduction.
head, that's a head count.
That could be a head count.
Okay.
That's one of those convoluted formulas that head count is in,
Yeah.
but it could also be how they redid the formula and maybe they moved some of that money into that line up right above it, cause that one
Maybe.
increases 600,000.
And it grew pretty significantly.
Right, pretty
Possible.
significantly. So that could be, I'm not 100% sure on that.
Susan, I remember correctly, Mr. Johns was saying that they were not asking for an increase for administrative pay, but they were increasing the days.
That is correct, so they were
But if he said,
in effect, it does increase their pay.
but it really doesn't, because they're,
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's one of those. All right, if you look also at their annual budget supplemental document that's in your book, you'll get a overview of the past 5 years, same as we did with District One. You can look through there and you can see, what they budgeted for revenue, and that's in that second column or that second section down toward the bottom, and you'll see what they actually collected. So you can see what they budgeted, what they collected, and you can also see what their expenditures were. So again, that's accounting for that fund balance that's increasing. They are not asking for a millage increase.
See, one good thing about District Two also is, they outline where they're saving money.
Mhm.
You know, if you look at, section 1, page 3, it talks about, 163,000, decrease in purchase services and another 10,600, in supplies and materials based on last year. So they're showing, they're at least outlining something, where they can, not spend money,
Mhm.
where the other schools are not showing anything.
I also thought, just for note, the page right before that page that Greg is speaking of, they gave a great, it explained to me more so than we've had in years past, the tuition that District Two, and I would assume District One as well, pay to ACTC on a yearly basis, and which is very comparable to what 3, 4, and 5 pay to AIT as well. So
Correct.
ACTC has their own millage, but Districts 1 and 2 are still paying a per student tuition. that's pretty comparable to what the others are paying too, so I thought that spelled that out much clearer than I've recognized in years past.
As you look through their other expenses. And if you turn to section 3, this may actually be in 1 as well. Here's their fund balance, and it's showing you the change every month of what their fund balance, what their revenues were, what their expenditures were. So this may
So
answer.
it drops all the way through October.
Mhm.
before it
October's
starts
when we
picking up
start
again.
getting tier payments.
So, and obviously there's a big tier payment in December, I guess.
With November, December, we're
Yeah.
getting tier 1,
Yeah.
and we get 90% of tier 1 at that point. December, you start also have some of your current, your homeowners paying
Mhm.
in December because they're getting those property bills. So you see that in December, January
District 1 does have that.
as well.
They have
section.
it, but what they show is percent. I mean, they showed a number, but they also showed a percent,
Okay,
which is still pretty doggone high, 27 all the way up to that 20.
so we may not need that on that. It's
Okay.
there.
Okay,
Yeah,
it's
it's there.
there.
Yeah. I think the bigger question is, how big does this need to be? Right.
Within-
See, 2 at least shows how they arrived at the fund balance. Where 1 just shows what the fund balance is.
Now, we can request that they all do that report the same way.
I'm sure they
That's
have the
different.
information.
Oh, yes.
All they have to do is just put it down.
So if you like we can look at the other
I like
districts
what
too.
this,
Yeah, I like this one here.
You like
Yeah.
District 2s?
Yeah.
we haven't got to
They're
3,
very
4,
open.
5 yet.
Yeah. So far, we like 2.
Does the athletic director in District 2 teach as well?
He does not teach a class, no. There are some, I don't know the proper term for it, but some remedial, I guess he can pull, he's here to help assist
I
kids
got you.
get caught up. I don't know what the
Okay.
term for that is, but he does not have a class schedule.
Are y'all ready to move to District 3?
Real quick before we do that, on section 7 for District 2.
Uh-huh.
Unless I'm incorrect, I believe they're explaining where their fund balance goes. They show a fund balance as of 6/30, which is 4 million. I'm just rounding it off. As of 3/20/26, they've spent 2 million of it, and it shows where the fund balance goes.
Section 7 is their sales tax.
Section 2, I think. is where you are.
Are you on 2?
No, I'm on section 7.
So,
Yes.
7,
7
7?
is their
I'm
local
with it.
option
No,
sales
yeah.
tax.
That's
Yeah,
right, sales tax,
7,
right.
and you
Yes.
look at the very top thing, it says fund balance as of 6/30/25.
But that's the fund balance of sales tax. So
Yeah.
they also, we have a sales tax fund because the revenue that's in that account has to be spent very specifically on
But it
items.
shows what they spent, and then it also shows projects that they're spending.
Mhm.
From the
And then
sales
it
tax.
comes,
From
yeah,
the
from the
sales
So
sales
tax.
you're
tax.
saying
Their general fund
there's
balance is
a
different.
fund balance and then there's a sales tax fund balance?
Yes, just like there's a debt service fund balance.
Yeah.
Capital fund balance.
Yeah, capital fund balance. All these are different
Oh.
funds.
Okay,
Yes. So this is a
glad I
different
asked
one.
that question.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
You know, it shows all kinds of different lights, so they have 2 different fund balances.
Probably more than
Several.
that. Yeah.
They have
Several
several.
fund balances,
Yes.
okay.
And each of those fund balances, and Gary, you correct me if I'm mistaken in any of this, because I know you, but each of those fund balances has very specific things they can be used for.
Yes.
Only the general fund balance is general, which is why they can move money from that one into the others. I don't believe they can move money from the others into other things, because they're very specific. So
Once it gets
this
here.
sales tax
Correct.
fund balance is tied, exactly your question from District 1 with football, is tied to only what that referendum said allowed it could be used
Uh-huh.
for.
Right.
And so, it's a very specific thing, which is why they have to keep it separate, for that.
The
Sounds
creep
like
of the
my wife.
general is the one that.
She's got 7 different checkbooks
It's fun to
and
count.
I'm not allowed to see in any of them.
Uh-oh.
That's a good thing.
But you're
She's
required to
good.
fund them.
She's
Right.
good.
To your question 2 minutes ago, he has also serves as the district athletic
Right,
director,
that's
too.
not
So
right.
he does middle school and everything too.
But he has a salary other than that supplement I saw, because I thought it was like 19,000. Yeah. That's what I was getting. Yeah. I think who does it? Or it's just that?
Joy is also going to pass out some
If that makes sense.
pages
That
makes
for
perfect
District
sense.
3. We've got to replace some pages in your books.
But it never paid the band director in.
All this,
Joy went.
wow.
All this going to district.
That's a lot. So we take all of District 3 out.
Not all of
Yeah.
District 3. I'm
Yeah.
gonna tell you which tabs. I've got it tabbed in my book, so I know.
Joy, did you get Dr. Burgess?
Oh, you already done mine, right?
Oh, you did?
We already
Yes,
did
yes.
yours.
Ah.
Yes, his
Executive
book was still here,
executive
so we
privilege
did.
for that.
We did,
Oh,
yes.
wow.
So for
I
District
don't
3,
mind.
It's your honest.
make sure you replace under the 3 tab, you're replacing that annual budget supplemental documentation. So there's 2 pages there, you're replacing both of those.
Our first 2 pages.
Your first 2 pages replaces those 2. Then if you will flip to section 1, you're gonna replace the very first page of that section. So section 1 is just the first page. And Joy, if you'll take up any discarded pages in just a minute. After that first page,
Wait a minute, we're getting
Oh,
kind of slow here.
okay, I'm sorry. This reminds me of teaching.
I know. Gotta find out how good we listen.
Slow down.
Gotta find my crayons.
Sounds fine. What's that?
First page. Got
Get
that.
it all, when I get it to teach.
See, and I'm trying to pace off you, so I've got to stop.
You can't take off me.
All right, so after that first page in section 1, flip to the 4th page in that section,
Yeah.
and you should see Anderson School District 3 budget update. So it's the 4th page there. And you are going to replace the next 1, 2, 3, 4 pages. So replace the next 4 pages with the 4 pages in your pack.
Jason, you said the teacher faces off to you, correct?
I know I can't look at him.
And I'm the kid that always say, Gary, you have it, that's it, where everybody has it.
And yours was done for you.
Mine's-
You're the
That's why
one.
mine is already done.
Yeah, exactly.
Because they know I'm slow.
They have to take care of you.
Look at the poll right here.
We had it done, we had it done.
The Gary, do you have it? Yes. No, let's move on.
Oh, Lord, this is a biggie.
Yeah, that's a big one. Once you get section 1 completed, flip to section 2, you're replacing everything in section 2. So take out all of section 2, and Joy should have it paperclip for you.
Y'all
Replace it,
rehearsed this. You did. You rehearsed this.
replace
They
it
practiced
all section 2. I did. I've done this before.
Maybe once or
What
twice.
grade did you teach in elementary?
4th.
Yeah,
4th.
yeah, right.
I taught 2nd as well.
Yeah, look, yeah.
Yeah, but 4th was more. They could do this with some instructions.
So she's saying we're,
Y'all
some
can-
of us are fourth, some of us are second. That's what
So
she's saying.
Gary's equivalent, even with a PhD. You set it up. You put it up on the
I'm
TV.
good, I'm good.
Let's do this here.
All right, does everybody have section 2 replaced?
Yep.
All right, flipping to section 3, you're replacing the very first page. Just the first page in section 3.
I know.
Just that first page.
I think it's a good thing for the state.
Yeah.
But that makes sense.
It'll be interesting who she picks right now.
All right, our last section will be section 5, and we've got to replace several of the salary schedules. So in section 5, if you will find the one that starts with the secretary salary schedule, it's the 4th one under section 5, secretary salary schedule. You are replacing the next 6 pages. So you're replacing 6 for 6. So you're going from secretary salary schedule all the way to bus driver salary schedule. You're replacing those 6 pages.
I'll just get messed up.
The only bad thing about this is
Um,
I've been
District
handicapped
3
because I
made
don't
some
learn how to
changes
do it
to their
correctly.
budget. Their board wanted to
Right, yeah, that's true.
give a larger
As long as you keep
increase
talking people into
to
it.
some of the staff.
Yeah, I'm in section.
So that's why all of these were adjusted.
Okay.
All right, once you have those 6 replaced, you are now gonna flip in that same section. And it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's the 8th page in that section, past what we just did. You're gonna start with the custodial salary schedule. And you're gonna go from the custodial salary schedule, the next 5 pages, all the way to the teacher aides, and you're gonna replace all 5 of those. It's the last 5 in the book, or in that section. It's the last 5 salary schedules in that section that you're replacing.
I don't see it. I don't see it.
Found it.
I got your course staff.
How many pages are we replacing?
The
after
last
custodial?
5, you're going from custodial all the
Yeah.
way to
Got it.
I'm a little
teacher
screwed
aide.
up right now.
It's the last
Cause
5.
I just did my
As long as
6.
it's good for me, I've been handicapped, so I've never learned how to
You
do it.
never learn how to do that.
I
I
just
think
did
y'all
my
gonna
6.
keep me handicapped.
You're fine. I thought about requesting, hey, drop these books back off, let me fix them, but
Yeah.
Did you just?
I thought it might just be easier.
I put in notes, you know, for
You know,
the,
how dreadful.
Okay, so that's
dreadful
longer.
zones
this is
They
garbage.
have to have some
Okay.
implants.
Oh no,
So you
Those were the
did-
6.
painful.
I don't know if they're gonna get a
Those
consult.
were the 6.
today.
Oh, you have that. Good
You're here
luck.
to tutor me, aren't you?
Anything now.
I always hated
Oh.
it.
Me too.
Cause you're a district support staff,
You're-
yep, you got that. Maintenance, I'm sure all these go in there. Here's custodial right here.
You just.
I was gonna have Joy
So
take
what
all of
about
them.
the, support staff? Here's bus driver. So here's,
Vaughn,
Wait, is
you're
this
not
new
as cranky
stuff?
this morning
Yeah,
as
this
you
is
normally
new
are.
stuff.
Hand me
It's all our trash.
That's
You're
all
not
the new
as
stuff,
cranky
right
Where's
there.
yours?
as you normally are.
Here's custodial.
That's
here.
good.
That's how Joey separated y'all.
Custodial.
It was assigned seating.
I don't know how many pages are there, but that's
Doing a
right.
good job.
Then we have,
And that's-
Outstanding job. You're my exemplar.
those are
So that
garbage,
one-
those are garbage. I pulled these out. Pulled those out. That's the secretary six.
Henry Jr.
Is this,
Yeah.
is this,
Was it- was
No
it-
good.
can I get
No
the
good.
pivot?
That's no good.
I think it was some. It was a little bit wrangling. I don't think she ever agreed to it. I think it's just because of the
Well, no,
endorsement.
not right down here.
And I know,
Okay,
I know
what's your
it's really-
garbage? Hand me your garbage.
I guess.
Well, I
versus
will in
this
a
was what
second, but I also
some
have
of
this.
us-
Is that all that budget information, Joy?
I'm not-
This is the budget here.
It has expenditure
She
budget.
spoke
That's section two.
on the handmade board.
But is that the old or the new?
Oh, this is the, what I did was I flipped over, this is old now. Anything that's upside down is old. Okay?
Okay.
Anything upside down is old.
Did you just?
I put
stick
that, yeah, I
in
put
there?
that in there. So that must be the old stuff. Maybe I get it mixed
Yeah,
up.
you got your stuff next to
Okay,
it.
then I'm not gonna worry about that.
So sometimes that, yeah.
Put in that table. Thanks.
If you wanna look through District Three's, presentation, you can let me know, what questions you might have. Is that all the old?
Put Nina back.
This is one of the school districts that said, was it homeschools, schoolers, they were concerned about dropping the end?
Yes.
And, you know, I said,
District
"We
4.
didn't have that problem, but now it's almost like it's a revolving door,
Right.
which
What
is
I,
crazy.
I think when we talked to District 4, he had made the first comment that they were seeing maybe an increase. They would start off homeschool.
Right.
Parents would think, okay,
Yeah,
I can teach
not
this.
today.
But as they get later elementary, then they start bringing them back to school.
And then I wonder if they're behind us to do that.
Probably.
Well, you know, you don't always have,
You don't,
you know,
I would
the
think
same
it's
folks
essential.
teaching. Yeah.
They don't test them back in though, right? They're not doing a assessment of, are they ready for fifth grade or seventh grade?
No.
It's just based
They're
on
probably,
whatever
probably
they,
where they
through the
would
curriculum and
age.
age.
Mhm. But that's not to say, I know when I was teaching, if we would have students that would come in like that and perhaps they weren't ready for second grade, they brought them in their age for second grade, then they would be placed back.
They just go back
Into-
in the,
Mhm.
okay.
Yes.
When I was principal at Pendleton, I didn't realize this one of our teachers homeschooled his kids. I thought he was homeschooling the kids. I did not realize there's homeschool associations for
Mhm.
the,
Yeah.
for the
Yes.
folk got the money.
Yes.
Yeah.
And they're traveling everywhere. And
Mhm.
they're-
It's another,
It's
yeah.
another whole, it's not like
Yeah.
one of the home is
That's
teaching them,
like-
but somebody else is teaching them.
right, right.
And they're, yeah,
And there's a lot of those around.
right.
A lot.
But folk don't understand it. They think if I say I'm homeschool my kid,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I homeschool my kid because they don't understand it's associations.
That they can join.
I don't
be
know how
parts
anyone
of.
homeschools their kid. Their biological kid. I don't, how do you do that?
Do people at homeschool get any kind of tax break?
I'll be in jail.
I mean, they're taking their child out of the school system to the tune of $12,000 to $15,000 a year.
You know,
By
there's
choice.
there's the new grants that they can apply for,
Yeah.
where they can use those funds to support their child's education.
Yeah.
Yeah. The parents can apply for those funds as well. As y'all look through District 3, did anyone have any specific questions?
the same question, just a growing trend in fund balance.
Mhm.
We'll have to
Does
get
District 3 have in their board policies a 25% cap? I wonder, because it seems that, you know, or is that just a practice that they're doing?
They exceeded it in 23.
They
so
did,
maybe
yeah.
not.
I just wondered if maybe coming out of 23,
Maybe they did.
maybe they
They
put it
kept-
in or something. I just,
I will ask.
is that might be in here.
They may.
I believe we do that.
Yeah,
Do we
it's
not? Like
the-
it's section,
In section 3, I don't see,
like should be their board policy. Policy on
I
hand
don't see a
budget.
percentage listed. I'm just curious if that's just their, oh, wait a minute. That's just their
District's goal
goal.
to
It just says
maintain.
that's their goal with maintaining 25%.
I'm gonna check that off, but that's
Yeah, yeah.
answered.
So with this other statement, they don't plan on using it in the future. What does that mean? They think
They might use it, but they don't see it being used, I guess.
they think their budget's gonna provide
Yeah.
for it, just on the projected collection.
That's what
I
it
guess.
appears to be.
You know, the conundrum is, when I look at that cap, on any of them, then they spend the money to keep it at a certain level. But if it goes into the fund balance, we can see it, and they can actually use it to balance the budget for the
Correct.
upcoming year.
It's juggling. It's a
Yeah.
juggling act, for sure.
Is this page a different fund balance? Is this their sales tax fund balance?
Section 7 should be that, but
Okay.
if it is under 3, that is their fund balance.
So in their presentation, what fund balance is this one, the 33 million?
That's general fund.
That's
Okay.
general fund.
Which the last page of section 3, it shows their general fund, and in the middle of the little table there, it actually shows, they call it building fund. I would assume that would be similar to the capital fund of other
I would
districts.
assume that.
So you actually see their balance, what they transferred in, and the total balance of that capital fund as well, building fund.
Dr.
Which makes some sense since they're getting ready to build a building. They, you know,
Dr. Williamson, were you talking about the 33 million?
Yeah.
On this every,
What's
so
that
that's the budget. So
Okay,
that's the
that's the
following
bu-
year's
okay,
budget. The
I
fund
got you.
balance is right beside it.
I'm with you.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure we were on
You're
the same
right.
page.
No, you are.
Okay.
Thank you. They're building that, I rode by there this weekend.
Mm-hmm.
They're-
It's starting to come
they're
up.
really on it.
mhm.
Any other questions for District 3? As we're looking through?
Do they have anything where they save money? I guess if it's in there, I'm overlooking
Let me look.
where they were able to cut back.
When I look at the summary of their expenditures, I'm not seeing anything included there.
That'd be nice to know if they have anything.
Did anyone else have any questions for District 3? I just handed you District 4, if you want to start looking over their presentation. Now, this is from their first reading. I did not get anything that this has been changed. But I will reach out to them just to verify that nothing has changed.
Why the significant decrease in health insurance?
Let me reach out and ask.
Okay.
It could be,
There's a similar thing with the PIA and the state general fund, but that health, that's the first time I've seen that decrease in the health insurance there.
Their moderate might have changed.
Yeah.
I wonder too if it's just the difference in employees, the type of coverage
Could
that
be
they're
less.
selecting.
May select less.
Yeah,
That's massive.
it is
That's not like
massive,
one or two employees. That's like
a bunch.
90% of their employees.
That is rare for them to go down.
There's a line here, other state property taxes.
Yes,
I thought all property taxes were county. Other state property taxes?
so state reimbursement for certain things like, we have manufacturer's depreciation that comes in, motor carrier, the different tiers, those are all coming from state collected funds given to the treasurer's
So it's
office. and it's
reimbursements for
about-
money lost
It
to the
is.
counties.
Mhm.
Would boats be in that now?
Boats are gonna be up in your ad valorem.
Okay, yeah.
why is it, going back to the question on the health insurance,
Mhm.
it's showing a reduction, right?
Right.
But yet if you turn around and you turn to page, this is in the first section of 4, I think it's page 3, or page 4, expenditure changes, they talk about increase in health insurance.
So the
Why are they showing a
reduction,
decrease in one and an increase in the other?
one's revenue. The other one is an expenditure. So they're not showing a decrease in what they're expending. They're showing a decrease in the
Decrease in what's
revenue
coming in,
of what's coming in.
all right,
So that's a line item on that,
okay.
what the state's sending in. When you look at District 4's fund balance report in section 3, do y'all still like District 2's better? District 4's is similar.
Pretty similar to me.
Yeah, it's pretty similar. I think District 4 just gets a percentage as well.
Mhm.
That might be revenues, expenditures change every month. Yep, you've got a percentage on 4.
Mhm.
Y'all still prefer 2? Or do y'all
I'd like to
prefer
see the percentage on all of it.
4?
This ties everything together.
Yeah.
Okay. While y'all finish looking at District 4, I'm gonna start handing out District 5.
4 never did show any decreases or anything, did they? You know, where they're saving money.
I didn't see.
Pardon?
I didn't see that page that showed the decreases. It could be there.
I didn't see it.
Just on their
I went
slide,
through it.
their expenditure changes, I didn't see.
Yeah, there's nothing there. I'd like to
I'll
see
ask
if there
them
is
that
something,
second question.
you know, reduction in teachers or anything.
Does anyone else have any other questions for District 4? All right, so with District 5, we've got to replace some pages in the book. I think that Joy just handed all of those out that need to be replaced. So for District 5, under their tab of District 5, where we start with the annual budget supplemental documentation, we're replacing that entire section. So you can take out all of those pages and replace them with the pages that Joy has paper clipped together for you. So, and it should be the short pages and those long pages that go in that section. So it's two things that are paper clipped for you. It's those short pages and the long ones that we're replacing.
Don't do that.
All right, everybody get section 1 or that first section? Now flip to section 1. We are going to replace the first page in that section. So section 1, just the first page. Joy should have handed you another packet.
It's fine. Oh, okay. Come on.
So under tab 1, you're replacing the very first page.
Just the first page.
Just the first page.
Just the first page.
Just the first page. After you replace the first page, you're gonna flip and you're gonna replace the third page in that section as well. So 2 more pages, replace it.
You're just actually giving us a cognitive test right now.
Mhm.
I really am, third page.
This
No,
is
All-
again,
Cat, dogs.
I'm seeing if you're auditory learners.
they don't have a class for this in board
10,
training.
9, 8.
You got that third page replaced now. Flip 2 more pages to the 5th page, so 2 more. 1, 2, replace that page. And that's that 5th page. Replacing it. That's that whole section.
I was counting.
That's all. And then finally, section 2, we replace it all, and that's it. That should take care of all of your pages. So section 2, replace it all. Trash. This is all your trash. Oh, it's this side. This side.
Just.
You can hand it to me. You need that one. As you are looking over District 5's information, does anyone have any questions or comments? If you look at District 5, Section 3 with their fund balance, it's already in that same format where it shows you the revenues, expenditures, change, what it is at the end of the month, and that percentage.
What is the wow? What is the wow?
The
They've done
$63
good
million
there.
sitting there.
They're not good with their money.
That ain't being savvy.
Only about 40%.
And I think this gives you a good view of where they dropped, where they
Mhm.
started at 24.23% and their lowest amount 16.96. You know, where they did drop at the beginning of the year because they are using that amount of money to
Right.
to pay salaries, to keep the lights on, those things. You know,
How much was District 3's new building?
the bond
60 million?
60 or 65, 60.
I think it's roughly 60.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And District 5 has enough to fund
To build that.
that
building.
school sitting in a kitty.
Yes.
It'd be interesting to see how much money is in that fund across all 5 districts. It's probably 200 million or better.
I mean, we can.
We could
Yeah,
add
We-
that
We've
up
got it.
easy.
Yes,
We've
we've got
that.
that.
Back in
Yeah.
this year's, it was like a quarter of a billion.
We don't have in here capital fund
For all
balances, do we?
We do not. We
Unless
ask for
they
fund
just,
balance.
unless a few districts, that's just on some of their sheets.
Mm-hmm.
What I saw, like District 3, that was on that sheet we just saw, but we don't have capital fund balances.
Right.
Is that something you would like for me to request? A building fund or a capital fund?
Would be interesting.
I think it would be to see it all presented just that way. All
All the fund balances.
All
All
funds?
the,
the
Accounts.
accounts of all of those accounts, like capital fund balance, what that.
sales tax. And
So all fund balances.
Would it be safe to call that unallocated fund balance?
Will be allocated
But it would be allocated to a fund
to a
That's fund
specific,
balance.
yeah.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
What date? What are you thinking?
for when we need it.
Before
Well,
the
no, no,
budget.
no, I'm thinking when do you want to see that fund, what it that fund balance is at a particular
Oh.
date? What particular, end of April of this year?
I'd like to
perhaps?
see fiscal year end 25, 26, or 24, 25, whatever that was
Yeah.
last year, and then as of May, yeah,
What's
whatever,
this year?
whatever they have.
The
May
student
16.
date is what, May 1st? What's the date, the BOD rate? What's that date of when they calculate all student populations? Is it the date in May or something?
I'm not sure what,
I'm probably asking the wrong question.
I'll put April 30th so
That's
that
good.
we have,
Yeah, I think it
we have
hovers in that
all,
May.
everyone should have that
Right.
by April 30th. Okay, I'll ask for that as well. anything else as you're looking through 5? I did notice, Mr. Blog, that they had savings on their sheet.
Yeah, I saw
Where they
that.
indicated what their savings
Yep,
were.
I actually read
Okay.
it.
One more sheet for you guys. This is derived from some board questions, so I thought it would be best to look at all 5 districts together.
The supply increased money for you.
A lot of paper, isn't it?
Yep.
A lot of ink. So what you have now, this last thing that I gave you is what I did was I did an analysis of the board expenses. There's been several questions about District 5 having those administrative salaries. So I went through every budget and saw what they budgeted for their board. That way you could get a better overview, because I didn't want to just look at District 5 in isolation, but look at all 5 districts.
So this is a synopsis of administrative salaries or district level.
No. This is
This is
what's in their
board.
budget to pay their board.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
Yes.
Gotcha.
That's what's budgeted. And then these other expenses are
Gotcha.
board related
Gotcha.
expenses.
Gotcha.
What's the difference for District 5 between 110 and 334?
Where's the 334? Trustee expense. Okay, so trustee expense, I reached out about that one as well, just because the other 4 districts didn't have that, and I
Mhm.
was unsure what that would be. And Ms. Hurd replied that that does include board travel, but that also includes some board supplies, and it includes an end of the year banquet for their retirees. So there were some other expenses that they had categorized into that category.
That's a lot of ice cream.
You know, stuff like that would be good to know, and I knew that with some other districts, but if you're just looking at this, you're thinking this money's going directly to the board.
Right.
Right. So I wanted to make sure that we're looking at it.
Right. These
all
are
of
board
the,
expenses
Mhm.
for what the board does, even when they do a banquet for teachers.
So
Right.
could like, for instance, the banquet, which is included in 334 for District 5.
Right.
Could something similar to that be 410 in District 1, employee relations?
It could, but I would think that it would maybe in 690, like in other objects.
Okay.
And again, that was something I would directly
Yeah, I
have to
just-
reach out to them, but I would think maybe the 690, not supplies for a banquet. It could also be in like purchase services, maybe the 310, 312.
And it might be per expense.
Yeah, right.
Mhm. I mean, it's just,
It's anybody. I mean, it could be.
Yeah,
all
Right.
over the board.
Whoever codes it.
Correct.
because they're all very unique in the way they
Oh, 100%.
code
Mhm.
different things.
Doesn't mean one's right or wrong.
And I'm
Just-
different
yeah.
as well, the way I code stuff.
Not one of my favorite people, Molly Spearman, was beat up roughly when they saw catering for our office. But it was wasn't explained, you're talking about thousands of people coming, you're doing bag lunches for them.
Yeah,
It's almost like you was.
yeah, having
Have you-
lunch brought in every day for the superintendent.
Right.
Yeah.
she was
I
butchered.
wonder, and this is a little pet peeve, I just think these administrations are kind of top heavy. And I'm wondering if there's some kind of format or how does Anderson County superintendent salaries compare to other counties of similar size? Do we know?
We can pull that information from the state. We can
State
easily,
template,
we can
right?
easily pull that information.
Yeah, there's a state.
That's
statement.
something I would like to look at.
I'll pull it and get it to you.
And finally, you said top heavy as far as district level people
Yeah,
or school
you know,
level.
$220,000 for a superintendent, that's a chunk of change.
Yeah.
Yeah,
especially
but
when you have an
I bet it's the
assistant, too.
low.
Yeah, and then you got assistant superintendent making close to the same. I mean,
Yeah.
that's just,
It's probably low for this area compared to the entire district, but we can find out.
Yes, that's something I can
Yeah.
easily find out for you, because it is reported.
sorry, I'm cheap.
Not cheap, you're just frugal and you're a bulldog, so we understand.
Boys.
There you go, you using those big words on me again.
One other thing.
Yes, sir.
I realize there's a state mandate of the number of days the kids go to school.
Yes.
Is anybody with me, but the last week of school is a waste?
Probably the last.
I mean,
Anything
really,
after
when you
testing,
think
really.
about it, it would almost be nice to know
Just look at
in the
my
last
eyes.
week of school what how many kids miss school? Because you got parents that are working and you got schools that are only open for a half a day. And that's to have some kind of a field thing outside. I mean, why do they do that? I guess I'm going to throw out my age a little bit. Back when I was in school, we went to school all the way to the last day. And the last day was getting prepared for the next year,
Mhm.
whether it was math or whatever it may be. Here, it's just playtime. And, I'm just kind of curious why. How can that stop? Because there are parents that don't like it. There's a lot of kids that are absent because they have to be. Parents pull them out of school the last, and then it goes against them.
Mhm.
So, just
Okay.
kind of curious, I realize the board set it up and everything else like that. Each board sets up, what's happening. Maybe something can be done to stop that.
Well, state testing is a specific window. And I do know that with teachers, they have to make sure that they've got everything taught within that year before that test comes up. So that state testing window is a certain date. And then you've got to allow for so many days after that or after you're testing your class for makeups, because there are going to be students that are out. So there's so much that's required by the state that the schools have to get in. Some of these kids are getting done quicker than others, and it just depends on attendance as well.
Yeah, because schools are out in May now and they start in August.
Correct.
Sometimes July. To me, it's just a waste of time. Schools used to start after Labor Day.
They did. And they
One
got
of
out
those-
first week.
One was smarter now because they have longer school years.
Oh, we do?
Yeah, we're smarter.
Oh, yeah.
When my son was in middle school, the issue came up of switching to year-round school.
Year round.
All the teachers were for it,
There's so
saying
much
how it was the
testing.
best thing for the
State
kids.
mandate.
Parents weren't.
Parents weren't. I was the only parent at Lakeside to say we should do this. All the
Well,
other
year round
parents were-
school.
Yeah.
And
You always
infringes
do
on
it
vacation.
because it makes sense, but you have to get your mind adjusted to. You're right, it makes sense.
It does. They
And you know
talk
why
about
the
parents
summer
didn't want it?
slumps
'Cause
and-
it screwed up
and
their
we
vacation
experienced it.
schedule.
We know what the summer
100%.
slump is
Yeah.
like.
I love it.
I would
It would
too.
be excellent. I mean,
If you go to other countries, they don't take the summers off.
And as we were talking about, you know, as educators, there was always that summer slump.
Yeah.
You know, you spend the first
Germany takes. the
3-4
whole
weeks
month
of school
off.
trying to
But for
reteach
everybody.
what they'd already learned
Work too, I think.
just to get started
Yeah.
for the next year.
Well, the only problem with, you know, just throwing something out on my opinion, you know, the only problem with having school year round and stuff like that, you know, talking about vacation schedules, you know, companies, if you've ever really worked for a company, you find out that it really goes based on seniority and so on and so forth. So what ends up happening, a lot of the employees can't take vacation anywhere, you know, during the time that the kids are out of school. Because now everybody wants that 2 weeks or that 3 weeks or whatever it is. So all of a sudden now there's less vacation out there.
It is.
Anyhow,
I
there's my
buried
opinion,
my
according to
agenda.
Garth.
And what is that, what is that, is that value that?
I got it.
What value? I didn't add any
Your-
value.
your opinion.
Because this would be our full discussion.
Yes.
Oh, I'm sorry, Bob.
So just quick question, as we get ready for Monday night, if the state has passed the budget and we can pass budgets as well, if not, you know, do a continuing resolution, do you prefer for the school districts to present PowerPoint slides? Or would you prefer something similar to what District 5, a snapshot to give to you? And go over the budgets. What is the board's preference with how they present this material again?
Snapshot looks pretty good to me.
I'm good with whatever they think
Okay.
is best for them to
Consensus?
Yeah.
Convince you. And of course, I'll send out the questions or concerns and ask them to address those as well Monday evening.
Looking at this from your position,
Mhm.
have you seen anything we need to be alarmed by or aware of from this? As you've dealt with it much more in detail than we have.
I think you've pointed out all the highlights as far as the fund balance. You know, I think that's a concern of the board, that you do see it continuing to get larger, and what are the plans, you know, by getting these other funds and seeing what those are looking like. I think that'll give you a better overall picture. I do think that, you know, some of the undervaluing the value of the meal, the underfunding the ad valorem, I think
Gotcha.
maybe that's still a concern. And that can, you know, be something that you might want to address.
Are we gonna do a final vote Monday?
Final vote will be Monday. Let me,
Pending.
pending state.
Could I bring up something
Yes, sir.
that we've talked about in the past?
Mhm.
The issue about the trustees getting paid.
Mhm.
Are we going to allow that, or we can take that out of the budget? I mean, we can't stop them from doing it, but we can take that amount out of the budget. Is that something that we want to do? Do we want to address that to the District 5? What are y'all thinking?
Is there just one that's being paid of the 5 so far?
District 5, all the others have said no.
Really?
Yeah, and since
What
I
do they have,
can't force them. to
$80,000?
go about this,
Have they,
86,000.
It's the
33,000.
33,000 that they have in their budget. It's that 33,000.
33,000.
Yes, sir.
How much they get a piece?
It is going to be $500 per board member and $550 for the board chair. It is
Per meeting.
per meeting, and once you have been reelected. So this would begin, I believe, in January, when the board members would either keep their seats or as new board members come on. So anyone that is not up for reelection this year, they would not continue to not get paid until they are reelected.
I just looked at that as a service position, you know? Never. I mean, you get to go to a couple of conferences. if you want to. But I just don't agree with paying.
I'm with you.
I agree.
They're getting paid a different way.
Yeah.
We all get paid a different way.
Are they increasing the number of meetings they're having? Have we seen a spike in that? Cause I know in some of the Midlands,
Mhm.
that's been the trend.
I believe with
Every
some of
other week.
those, they were getting paid per meeting. This is per, I believe it's per month.
So it's a monthly.
This is a monthly
Okay,
a monthly.
stipend.
Per
I
meeting.
think earlier it said. meeting
I
was-
don't believe it
I
said
think
per
I
that-
thought
meeting.
the original was per meeting.
I think
but
so.
I think it has changed to.
Per
monthly.
month.
Well, what about
And that's
special
something
I
I
meetings?
think that would,
verify.
yeah, we'll clarify that.
Yes.
So I'm not
So a
against
call
it.
meeting would,
Yeah, what about a special meeting? Like this, for instance.
Let me find out. I don't know.
Yeah.
This is per month, I'm good per month.
would, just to follow up on your question, if we push back on that with District 5, would they have to come back with a new revised budget to take that out? Or would they make a statement that they will remove that?
I don't know what they would do. My thought would be if everything else in the budget is approved, then just tell them, we're not gonna approve that. We're taking that much money out of your budget. So here's your budget. You do with it what you want.
Would that be, and this is just from my knowledge, where would that go then? Would their board be able to use fund balance to,
Their
Like
board,
that.
yeah, their board could do whatever they want.
okay,
What's it, they could do, what would?
We can't tell
What do you
them,
mean?
we can't tell them,
just-
you can't pay your trustees, but we can say, we're not gonna authorize
we
that
could just
money.
disapprove it in their budget as a line item.
And they can still pay their,
They can still get the
They
money.
can still, from
They
what I
can move the money
understand,
from
let
somewhere.
me check
you
with
need to
our
take the legal,
attorney.
yeah.
Let me
because,
check with our attorney to find
Since we
out
can
the
do that, yeah.
exact ramifications of that,
It comes out of the general.
how that would
fund.
work,
Yeah, because it's-
because I do not know.
Then we're not needed then. They can just pay themselves
Yeah, they get to vote that in. And then,
without our approval.
yes,
That's-
I'll contact him after this meeting and I'll send you his response as soon as I get it.
trash.
I'm gonna bring this up just as a point of concern. I've seen multiple social media posts from various school board members in various districts saying, we have approved our budget. And I get that that's true,
Mhm,
but there's still one more step,
there is.
and that's not even acknowledged at all. I don't know if, I mean, that's freedom of speech, they can say what they want, but there still should be some professional,
Who is saying that? Is it school people?
the school board people, it's people that are on trustee boards.
Do they know?
I don't think they know.
Okay.
I don't think some of them know.
Yeah.
Right. I'm not for it, Vaughn. I'm not for them getting paid. I would support not paying their board member.
On
Mhm.
action items,
Do you wanna, do we need to make a formal motion to that effect?
I would like a motion to contact the attorney to find out.
Then I will make a motion to contact the attorney to find out if and how we can deny the funding of the trustees.
I'll second
And then the
that.
ramifications of that, like on their end. Yeah,
Yeah,
what's that look
what's
like
the
on
next
their
step?
end?
What can they do?
And Greg seconded.
I'll
it.
second that.
Restate the motion.
Restate the motion.
The motion is for the administrator to contact our attorney to find out if and how we can deny District 5 paying the trustees, and what are the ramifications
Okay.
of that decision or that move.
Yep.
All in favor? All opposed? Motion passes.
So just to piggyback off of that, not off of the motion, but did they budget benefits to coincide along with that? I didn't see that
I didn't see that.
specifically, but it's one big number. So
Right.
Well, that could be in the $86,000.
It could be,
Trustee expense.
it could be.
I'd like to see that broken down.
And if, I just wanna be sure I'm clear, because I'll probably vote, for them being paid, but what we're doing, the motion that we just passed is simply the clarification.
Correct.
From the
Correct,
attorney.
correct,
Correct.
yes. I will
So
also
that
ask them. to correct
Monday
that.
night, we know what we can do.
Right, exactly.
All right, is there any other discussion?
So would they have to come back to us if we voted it out with a revised budget?
I don't know if they would or
Because
would.
this is
Because
modification.
our,
I think that's
Cor-
what we have to
Yes,
Right, we'll find
modification.
that out.
find out. Or
but
can we
our
just-
vote is correct me if I'm wrong, we're voting to approve the revenue. So
Mm-hmm.
we're not, and this is where we get into, our understanding is we actually have no
Over it.
oversight over the expenses. But we can remove that 33,000? That 33,000 from the revenue portion,
Right,
approve that and send that back to them. Then they can, I mean, my
Figure it out.
understanding is they can move those pots however they want to expense wise. But
That's
they give us the expenses so they can justify the revenue that we're approving. That's how I
But
understand
we're
it. I could
approving
be,
that bottom line number.
we're approving that revenue number, not even really the expense number. We're just approving that revenue number, which
so you could reduce the revenue number by the
by the amount.
33,000.
They have to
Yeah,
find
yeah,
it somewhere
yeah.
else.
That's my understanding. So that would be
But we are surprised.
part of this clarity, I guess.
Hmm.
And even in that revenue number, it's only the local revenue number, because of course we have no say so over the state or anything like
Right.
that.
Only of the local. But I'll reach out.
And we
and
can
let you know.
reduce that revenue with the recommendation that they replace it out of the superintendent's salary. Not to put too fine a point on it.
All right, budget committee chair. Are we adjourned?
Unless there's anything else, we are adjourned.
Fantastic.
Thank you.
Thank you.